Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review of the demo The Necromancer by the band Forgotten Spell. This is a newer black metal band from Germany. Unlike most other bands I've sort of come across, this is actually a one-man band. Yeah, one guy does everything: vocals, drums, guitar, and possibly bass playing. There might not be bass playing on this recording. Maybe not. But I'll get to why I don't know whether there's bass playing on this album or not later in the video. Anyway, so also I don't really need to go into who does what because, like I said, it's one guy doing everything. Now there aren't official credits on here. I mean, I forgot the guy's name. It says all music by AM, so just the initials are here. But anyway, so this is a 4-track demo, and the first song is called "Riding Warlord on Beast Diabolic." Pretty good opener. It has a very sort of like epic feel, and one of the main things to mention is that a lot of these songs, well, I said all of these songs, very much have sort of like a feel like they kind of remind me of Immortal, sort of that black metal, sort of that more epic, almost sort of that epic nature, and sort of that sort of like not I wouldn't say bombastic, but it sort of that has that epic sort of feel to it, I guess. But the standout of the song are the vocals. The vocals, even though everything else is really good, the vocals are really stand out. And I'll get into this more in detail later. But each song, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but each song has everything's good, but one thing stands above all other. Like each song is a different like showcase of certain aspects of the music. Anyway, but yeah, writing on Warlord Beast. Writing Warlord on writing. These songs don't really have any like. They're all like the words are clumped together. There's no like punctuation or like commas or anything, so it's kind of hard to read these as separate words. Writing Warlord on Beast Diabolic. Very good song, very epic opener, and like I said, the vocals are the highlight of the song, even though, again, everything else is good as well. Just a very epic song. The next song is Fear Towards Frozen Coffin in the Graveyard Eternally. This is my favorite song on here. Now, this song, like I said, everything is good, but for the first song, the main highlight was the vocals. In my opinion, the main highlight on this song is the riffing, the guitar riffs. Very, very doomy, very epic. It's sort of like not like a fast epic, but very doomy epic. Like it's very epic, but also it's very sort of slow at the same time, if that makes any sense. And it's just sort of really cool atmosphere. And yeah, just another great song. The next song is called Necromancer's Curse. Another great one. I think the highlight of this song in particular is the drum work. Just another song where like everything's good, but there's one highlight, I guess highlight above the rest of what's going on. The drum work, not very, like technical or anything, but it does. It's very chaotic and just very wild. But also at the same time also stays simplistic as possible to not sort of overshadow everything else going on. Yeah, just another great song. And then the last song, I can't pronounce this. Excarnation or something. Now the other songs are single highlights. Like, yeah, sure, everything going on in these songs is great, but there's the first three songs, all like major highlights. There's one thing that's highlighted above the rest, whereas this last song, I think, is highlighting everything at once, not just the vocals, not just the drum work or the guitar work, but I think this song combines all the highlighted moments, sorry, I highlighted aspects of the first three songs and combines them into where every single aspect of this song is a highlight. And yeah, it's just a very good sort of ending track, and I love the way it is. Again, I don't know if it's intentional or not, just the way everything is. I'll get to, I'll go more in depth with that in shortly, but yeah, X Carnation, great song, and a great way to end the demo. Now, before I get into everything else, I just want to mention this is one of those rare times where I have more to say about the recording as a whole rather than the individual songs. But yeah, sorry if I went through the songs pretty quickly, but again, I have more to say in terms of this thing as a whole. Anyway, so the thing I wanted to talk about a little bit more in depth is the again, I don't know if it's unintentional or not, but the highlighting of certain aspects of the songs, and then all that sort of like fusing together within the last song. So what I mean is that the first three songs, everything is great, but it really seems to me like one aspect is highlighted, is the highlight, the sort of main, I guess, driving force, or the main, like, the thing they want you to notice the most. I don't know, again, it might be just the mixing, but that's what it seems to me. Like I said, the first song highlights the vocals, the vocals are the highlight. The second song, the guitars are the highlight. The third song, the drums are the highlight. And then the fourth and final song is everything. The guitars, the vocals, the drums, everything is all highlighted. It's just sort of a culmination of everything that was already previously established in the last couple songs. Sorry, in the first couple songs before it. And again, I don't know if that's unintentional or it is intentional, but it's just something I've noticed. Another thing that's pretty interesting, like I said, is that just the way everything sounds, I don't know if there is any bass playing on this album, or not album, demo. Mainly because, for one, even though, like, it's one guy and he does everything, looking at the Metal Archives, it doesn't say, what, the individual stuff. Like, of course, even if, like, most other one-man bands, it always says, vocals, bass, drums, everything in that. This just says everything. So, but the reason why I'm questioning why there's bass, if there's a bass on this album or not, mainly because I can't hear it. Like, I could definitely hear everything else, the vocals, the drums, the guitars, but the bass playing, I don't hear any. I mean, it might be there, it might just be so low in the mix that I can't hear it. But I don't think it's there. But I might be wrong. It might be way too low in the mix. But anyway, so overall, in terms of style, so let's see. I'd say the style of black metal on here, is sort of a mix. Like musicality wise, I'd say, musicality wise, it's pretty much very similar to a band like Immortal. Just very epic sounding black metal, very sort of like riff driven, and just very sort of like, it's not fast epic, but it's slow epic, to where like it builds on just the sort of mid pace, slower to mid pace, but at the same time they incorporate just some, like, the way they do it, it just sounds epic, it sounds very grand scale at times. So yeah, musicality wise, I'd say it sounds very much like Immortal. Production wise and sound quality wise, very much sounds like early Mayhem. Early Mayhem was extremely raw, extremely primal sounding, and that's what the production kind of sounds like on here. So you have a combination of, again, Immortal and early Mayhem, And then going back to the vocals, the vocals very much sound like the vocals of the singer of Immortal, which I completely forgot his name. But yeah, just a very cool combination. Also, this, like I said, this is just a demo. So yeah, it is a bit more raw than like you would expect for, even for when this is released. I don't know, I might have forgotten to mention this, in the beginning of the video, but this demo was actually released in 2017. Not, and it doesn't sound like it. It very much sounds like something that would have been released, in, late 80s, maybe even early to mid 90s. Yeah, it's very raw, but the rawness doesn't really ruin it. And because you could still hear majority, like, again, you could still hear everything, but the only thing I noticed that, again, it's kind of, just the way it is, it's kind of hard to tell if there's bass playing on this thing or not. I don't think so. It doesn't sound like it, but again, I might be wrong about that. But yeah, I mean, for anyone who's into, the old school, very raw black metal, but also loves the more like sort of like Immortal epicness to it, epicness of the, Immortal, that band. I think you'd like this, like, if you're into that. Because what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and because this is their 15th demo, yeah, not their first, not their second, not their third, not even their fifth, their 15th. It's just very odd that they didn't put out an album like a full length until right before this one. But yeah. But with that being said, even though it's in a series of a long series of demos, it still sounds very good for what it is. Yeah, so before I get to my final thoughts and, my verdict, I'm going to show off the packaging really quick. First off is of course, the awesome logo right here, Forgotten Spell. Now, they didn't have this logo originally. They actually went through a couple different variations. Originally it was just your standard sort of standard lettering. And then that was that for the first couple of demos, and then at one point it was a almost cursive type thing. And then around the midway point, that's when this version came in, which has been their version, I think, since 2006, I believe. Yeah, I mean, I love this logo. It's very cool looking. It's very ferocious looking too. Like, you could tell, like, whoever designed the logo just put in a lot of work. I love the overall detail. It kind of resembles, like, it almost looks like the letters are thorns, like some kind of like sort of thorns, sort of like weeds that are like have like thorns on them and stuff. It looks really cool. I especially love the sort of like top parts and bottom parts where like sort of like almost looks like some kind of horns or prongs or something, and you get the thorns on those as well. And then near the bottom you get this weird cool star thing, or it looks like two stars combined actually. And then at the bottom of that you get a little upside down cross, and then you get the title of the demo, The Necromancer, in sort of standard lettering, although it's all caps lock. Or sorry, all caps. And then you get the back, which is very simple. It's just the logo again in standard lettering, as well as the name of the demo, slightly smaller than on the front. And then you get the track listing. And then there's not really anything inside. There's no insert. There's no lyric sheet or anything. It's just the the vinyl as well as the actual vinyl sleeve in there. Now, so my overall thoughts. Like I said before, it combines the rawness of early Mayhem with the epicness of Immortal, which is it's a very cool combination. That I don't really see a lot, at least with the black metal bands I have heard. Mainly, it's either super raw or super epic sounding. I haven't really heard the sort of the combo before. Now sure, there's epic sounding raw or black metal, but the this is very specific. Like Immortal has a very specific epicness kind of quality to the music that doesn't, you don't like. There's other stuff that's epic, like other epic black metal sounds, but it's very, I can't really describe it, but there's a very specific way they go about making the epicness of their music that Immortal does, that it's very specific to mostly just them. Now, of course, other bands probably do it, but I haven't come across any other bands except this one. But yeah, a very cool combination. Also, even though this is a demo and it only has 4 tracks on here, it's pretty lengthy. It's a very lengthy demo. Like, I think it's around like 36 minutes or something. Like, for example, the first track is, I believe, the first track is 9 minutes. The second one is 6 minutes. The third one is 8 minutes, and the final song is 11 minutes. So yeah, sure, there's only 4 songs, but those 4 songs are actually pretty long, and it's cool. I love how they stretch them out. Now, sometimes it doesn't really work, and it just sounds too drawn out and stuff. But just the way the songs are done, they do benefit from being longer songs, even though it's just a 4-track demo. So, also, I love the fact that, now, before this was, on vinyl, this was just, I believe, cassette, and this band has history of just, for their demos, for the most part, just releasing them on cassette, but, this is one of only 2 times where, they actually gave you a choice of either buying a cassette version or a vinyl version. And I think that's really cool that Forgotten Spell is starting to do that now. They're starting to give you a choice in terms of the demos, whether you want a cassette or a vinyl. Before it was just you could only get the demos on cassette. Yeah. Now I'm also looking forward to seeing how well their full length is. I shouldn't say they. I'm just gonna say his full length, because again, it's only one guy doing everything. Because this band has this guy has a very promising, like, catalog. All the other stuff sounds really good. This is, so far, I haven't heard their full length, and I have heard a couple of the other demos, not all of them, but a few. But in terms of, the most recent stuff, this is actually the most recent release. This is from 2017. Yeah, this one-man band has a lot of potential, and I'm really excited to hear what the full album sounds like. I can't remember what it's called, but it was released shortly before this demo. Yeah, this band just has a lot of promise, and it's one of those newer black metal bands that just, even though they're relatively new, it's one of those newer black metal bands that is already, like, I guess, like, already showing how great they are and what they can do. Yeah, so I'm gonna give this a solid, probably 7.9 out of 10. I'm not gonna give it an 8 because, like I said, I don't know, I don't think I've said this, but I do think the production is a little bit too underproduced, like, just a little bit. Like, I do like the rawness, but I think it's a little bit. I think it could have been tweaked just a little bit. But other than that, I love this demo, and I'm really excited to try to get the full length album. But yeah, so The Necromancer by Forgotten Spell is a 7.9 out of 10. Alright, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.